everybody. My name is Jade Marvin and I play Mama in Starlight Express. Mama is just like the underdog character that everyone's kind of, I guess they're just like, oh, she had her time, like she was there back in the day, but no one actually really believes that she can do anything now, even though they do respect her. And I think it's just really exciting because I get to show everyone that, like, as long as you put your mind to it, you can do it, and that's how I win race 2.
Yeah. Nice. I'm Vanessa Williams. I play Miranda Priestley in Devil Wears Prada. And Miranda brings fashion and fierceness.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Zoe Birkett. I play Tina Turner in the Tina Turner musical. Tina Turner is one of the most iconic females of all time. Her life story just has so much adversity with racism, misogyny, ageism. The list is endless, and she was a huge force back then. It's an honour to play her and share her story every night.
I'm Mazz. I play Donna Sheridan in Mamma Mia, who is a single mummy who slept with 3 men in Greece and got away with it.
Lovely.
And then there's a search to find the father. She was the iconic single mum who survived and ran a business and got on with her life and had this amazing relationship with her daughter.
I am Georgina Castle and I play Regina George in Mean Girls, who is just so much fun to bring to life because she's the villain, like Miranda Priestley over there. And it's so fun to just be able to unleash whatever it is that you're feeling on that day, and it's sort of a little bit like a therapy session every night to just go, unleash the anger and the rage. But she's also manipulative and cool, and I love her confidence. So that's been something that I've really enjoyed, stepping into her high heels.
I think a lot of people don't realise with especially when they come and see the show, they think they're going to come and see a jukebox musical where they can kind of sing along and clap and have a great happy time, and they soon get a shock during Act 1 that they realise it's not about that. Actually, we focus. It's a play. It's a 3-hour play with her music on top. It's the story for me. Just follows this incredible human who broke boundaries for women, not just women, but for men as well, whether they're within abusive relationships, racism, in a time where she wasn't seen or heard as a woman. And just honestly, every night it's like an emotional roller coaster for me. There's never a day since doing this job that I've come away and thought that was easy. But as a woman, she just has inspired me massively throughout my whole life, to be honest.
You mentioned playing a villain, which, yes, we are tagged as playing the villains, but showing the strength and the reason why characters operate the way they do shows the humanity of the character. I mean, Miranda Priestley, yes, she is seen as the devil in The Devil Wears Prada, but the fact that she does not take any fools, that she wants things done excellently, and there's no reason for her to have an excuse for that, that she demands excellence, that people are on point. She shouldn't have to apologize for being who she wants.
They have, like any human, they have their redeeming features, and they learn. Just Regina learns a lot slower.
Yeah, you're right though. Most people that appear to be mean are quite guarded rather than mean.
Yeah.
They're just too vulnerable to show that.
Right.
Yeah.
So really they're the softest, aren't they?
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I do get a little opportunity in one scene to show the vulnerability of her losing her marriage and what is the cost of being the top, being so respected that she can't afford to show any crack in the armor at all.
Yeah.
So, and as women, I mean, I know you're a mother, I'm a mother of 4, I'm in my 60s, I have lived life, and there are certain expectations that people have of you, that there's certain assumptions as well, but there's certain expectations that we've had to live with through our lives to just stay in the game, as we all are.
Reinvent ourselves.
Reinvent ourselves all the time.
Every time.
Absolutely. And that's expected of us.
Especially like those of you who've just been in this game for so long. I guess, how do you avoid being named as that like diva figure whilst also sticking up for yourself and not taking the BS, but without, being pigeonholed into that hard and difficult to work with area?
Well, you have to deliver as well.
Yeah. It's a rebrand. You know, a diva does not necessarily have to be somebody who's difficult to work with. A diva can be somebody, when it came from the opera, who is excellent and is divine, and that's what you want to hear the aria from, the diva who comes out and floors everybody out in the audience. But, you know, being a pro, the reason why we're still here is we're dependable, we're talented, we show up and do the best, and that's reflected in the people that come and see and sit and watch and are affected by what we do. Yeah, our skill set.
I think my character is so powerful because her character name is Mama, and she is the oldest steam engine that, it feels funny talking about steam engines, but she is the oldest steam engine that kind of was great in her heyday, but as time has moved on, as we've evolved, everyone's kind of discounted her. Even though she is respected for what she did bring, everyone's like, oh, it's just Mama, it's just Mama. And I think I really enjoy being able to come out and give the audience a little bit of a different perspective. I'm a little bit sassy, I'm a little bit silly, and I think that it means that they get to see that even though I'm a little bit older, that I'm still got it.
Wasn't it originally played by
Popper? Yeah.
Popper.
So it was originally played by Popper, and they changed it a little while ago. They changed it a good few years ago and turned it to Mama. And I guess maybe before that, like, maternal instinct, that kind of like looking after people, and yeah, just having a great time.
Donna Sheridan, I mean, it's obviously it was so famous when the film came out, but the stage show was many, many years before that. And interestingly, I mean, we're in our 26th year now, but I auditioned for Sophie 26 years ago.
Love that.
Yes, I did. Didn't get it, but anyway, because I sounded 45 then. But I do remember going to see that show because at the time, 26 years ago, musicals were quite different. It was very Stephen Sondheim. It was everything was sung through, and it was just not something that it wasn't my forte, and I had no sort of place, really. And then all these sort of jukebox, pop music driven shows came, and I thought, okay, I can do that. And I went up for it. Anyway, I didn't get it, but I went to see it. And on the opening night, Donna was played by a brilliant actress called Siobhan McCarthy, who had this lyrical folk rock pop voice. And I thought, at last, something different. And I just thought, I really hope this show's around in 20 years, because I'd love to play it. And here we are. Yeah. But I mean, apart from that, the actual story, it is so celebratory of women. It is the three, sort of winners in the show are three middle-aged women. Yes, it's a story of a woman that got pregnant when she was 20. She didn't know who the father was. She brought up the child on her own. She stayed in Greece. Her mother disowned her, and she built a life and built a guest house and carried on and never felt halved. It's really important in Mamma Mia that the happy ending is not that she gets together with someone. That's not the point. The point is that she feels complete peace and love to let her daughter go into the big world. You hear people weeping in the show because there's a certain point where they stop really thinking about the story and they think about their story. And I should ring my mum, I should ring my friend, because it is a story about love. And I think Mamma Mia just reminds you of that, and it reminds you that you really, if you are together and you are sorted and you can take care of yourself and your mental health, you can accomplish anything.
It's getting more and more common that we have genuine female-led stories and narratives, and it's told through the eye, through a female
but
gaze.
women are superb.
Yeah,
we are superb at managing, at handling, at getting through, and everything is also done with a smile, and for some of us lip gloss is on too. I mean, it is incredible, isn't it? I love men, don't get me wrong, I married one, I really like them, but we are quite astonishing.
I love it when I see a woman succeed. I'm like, yes! And so many people over the years are like, you share so many stories of people who I don't even know. I don't care. I love what you're doing. You're inspiring me to be better. I love watching you graft. I'm here for your hard work that you've put in, the effort. And now this is your time to get your flowers. I'm here for. I love seeing women succeed.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite things.
I think that's really important, especially when you a bit more newer to the industry. There are so many people that you look up to and that you see doing so well. And for those people to be so supportive of, the next people coming in and involving them and keeping them in the community, I think it really is really important.
I have to, I know she's sat right here, but Sophie in Mamma Mia, I was covering Sophie the first year that I got it, and Mazz was playing Tanya, and she was the person that I looked up to. Why am I going to get upset? This is embarrassing. She was fully the person that I looked up to, because she gave me the space to sort of go, you can do this, you should do this, go and get this, which I think sadly sometimes is rare.
There are more wonderful, giving women in our careers that have passed the torch, that have given, I mean, not to name drop, but I've worked with Chita Rivera, who was wonderful, Barbara Cook, who was amazing, Lena Horne, all these, Diane Carroll, Leslie Uggams. Women are there to, I mean, my experience has been passing the torch. Anytime you need anything, please call me. I'm here for you. So I think a lot of people assume that there's a lot more bitches in our industry, and I think we are all here to help each other. And there's always a mother figure, and there's always wisdom that we glean from these amazing women that want to share.
Yes.
I'm going to name drop you after today.
I did
Starlight Express, so we have a female grease ball. Grease ball is our diesel train, and it was originally played by a man, and this is the first time that we've ever had a female play it. And I think, she's phenomenal. Her name's Al Knott, and she's a grad. She's come straight from drama school, and she just threw herself into this role. And I think that watching her take on a role that has been played by men before, that is very well known for being played by men, has a humongous fan base for this male version, and she kind of just had to take it on and hope that her version would resonate with these very diehard fans. But she is a powerhouse. She's roller skating, she's singing sometimes in the male key, so she's up and down and figuring out how it works for her voice, just with everything else. She is just absolutely incredible. And to get to play against someone who is going through the kind of adversity of figuring out how to make the role her own whilst living in this male-dominated world, it's just incredible. She's brilliant, and I'm really proud and kind of grateful to have got to work with her and got to see her process. And it could have really not been great, but it's phenomenal.
So Andy Sachs is played by Georgie Buckland. Seeing her excitement and her discovery and the audience connect to her is really thrilling for another woman to see her just get her flowers and soar. And then Amy DiBartolomeo, who's amazing.
Good friends.
Amy's the best, and watching her,
I was like, this is your time.
It's her time.
It's her time.
And seeing that, and seeing her not be afraid of it, but kind of dip into the power that she does have and the future that is ahead of her, and her comedy and her voice and just
and her kindness.
And her kindness. It's all
Extremely talented girl.
Yeah.
I have to say, our Tina covers, I must give them a shout out, are young. They're in the 21. Our youngest one's 21. I'm just I'm 40 years old here. You're 21, taking on this huge role of a woman, because we do play in Act 2. I'm a 40-year-old in Act 2. So I'm like, how are you doing that? How are you dealing with that emotionally with things you've just graduated? And I think our Tina covers are fantastic, I have to say.
And if you look at the face of the shows now, they're nearly all female-led. It shows you where the audience are at. Because now we want to be celebrated.
Well, I've noticed more women in the band as well, and definitely in the crew, on sound teams.
MDs.
Which is MDs, We have an amazing female MD called Simona Budd. I mean, it's a shame I have to say female MD. She's just a kick-ass MD.
In Starlight Express, we have a female MD as well as a female Dep MD, which I just think is so cool. And I hope that they, continue that tradition, because it's so cool to kind of hear them in our ears, and go. And I'm like, yes, let's go.
That's awesome. I did Roald Dahl's The Witches at the National. That was heavily female as well, including the designer and the designer of the set. The writer, Lucy Kirk, was a female. The director, Lindsay Turner, was a female. And that being in a room, like a rehearsal room, was something I'd never, that was my first experience of that. And I was like, this is insane. I every day I would come away and be like, I'm in a room of women who just want to collaborate with each other and bring the best out of each other, and there's no, no one saying, no, that doesn't sound like, that doesn't look right in a horrible way that makes you feel insecure. We're all wanting to complement our own, each person's strength as best as possible. But that was my first experience of working with predominantly just a whole, bunch of women, including there was 13 witches who were all women, and that was of all different ages, which was incredible. There was women who were 60 plus, and there was, we had young girls in there from 6. We had children, so we had, 30 children as well. So watching young little girls look up to us women as well. So that as a collective was my first experience, I could think, of musical theatre, where I thought there's a change happening here, and I like it.
On our last day of auditions for Mean Girls, they sort of paired us with different people to test the chemistry and, all of that sort of stuff. And it was me, Grace and Elena who ended up getting it. We were like, should we just run our lines? And we sort of just wanted to help each other, make sure everyone knew their lines. And we went into a lift and we ran the scene and we were like, oh, that was quite fun. That felt good. And we were so bonded from that experience that taking that on stage and now growing the relationship has been super fun, and also really important that we started and we are such good friends.
But for anyone who was younger, I would just say, be nice. We all end up in the same box, for sure, at the end of the day. Be nice to people, collaborate, celebrate with women, continue to grow and learn as much as you can from each other. But then know when to say no, and just set yourself some boundaries. Boundaries has been a massive thing for me. I'm a very hard-working woman, and I always have been, but I will not be taken for a ride. So I've had to learn to understand to say, yes, this is amazing, and I will give you everything, literally till my last, everything that I've got, till I'm in a hospital bed. But then please understand the boundaries as well, and look after me and care for me. And I'm very lucky that I do have a wonderful team at Tina who do that.
Something I always just remember is comparison is the thief of joy. I feel like in this industry there's so much that we get compared, and I think especially knowing that I bring something to the table and I bring myself.
I would say be a professional, show up on time, know your stuff, work hard, and it's a small community, not only here, but in New York and on Broad. People talk. I'm sure we know 10 people together. People talk. You don't treat people nicely, that'll get around. If you're a joy to work with, that will get around. That's how you continue to get work. So just know that it's a small world and everybody knows what goes on. So watch your back and just be the best you can. Be a pro. Be a pro.
You shouldn't chase happiness in our industry. I think you have to make sure that you have enough time for your private life and to, fall in love, get married, have babies if that's your choice. But I think that there's no point being the star and having no one to share your life with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if it's a best friend, you've got to be careful not to isolate yourself and make sure that you have fabulous people around you that love you, that you love.
I think balance is so key, and not letting the lows be so low that it destroys you, and not letting the highs be so high that you get wildly, swept up in it. It's like, feel the feelings, but don't let it make you one way or another. Try your best not to let self-consciousness slip in. Be as brave as possible and just be as free as possible.
There is so much room in our industry for women to actually be leaders.
Yes.
Of, like you were saying, to be the producers, to produce.
Owners.
Yeah, and if you have an idea, go for it.
Well, you said balance. I mean, we're mothers, and I know it's terrifying when you get pregnant and you're like, how am I going to do this? It always works out. It's very esoteric, but it always works out. As terrifying as life is, and oh my God, how am I going to work? You look back and it's like, of course it worked out.
You worry, what does that look like? And then how do I fit into the industry afterwards when you are changed, when you become a mother in ways that I don't understand yet.
All those things now that women are leading and are there in every aspect of production and theater, they'll make time for you.
It is scary because I'm just kind of coming into my own, and you don't want to. I want to take that sidestep, but I don't want to lose what I've worked on, if you get what I mean.
You get to a point where you're ready for it, weirdly, to not be about you. But you do get to a point where you're ready to love that different phase.
I would love to see a little bit of a acceleration in Black women writing and producing, I guess, Black stories, and for those stories to get to the levels of West End or Broadway, because I think there's a lot of people that are making things and that are creating, but they don't necessarily have the funding, or they don't necessarily get the eyes on them that allows them to kind of rise. And I think some of our very well-known, particularly Black stories, are written by males, but they're about the Black woman, and I would just love to see maybe a little bit more, I guess, I don't even know, more love towards the people that are writing those stories and get them to where they need to go.
More access and more love for working mothers with children. Don't write us off, because we are the most hardworking women you will ever find, because we can actually do it all on 4 hours sleep. So, if you're going to have a woman walking into your audition room who is a mother, give her the job, let her be heard. She can do it. And also just let's find some access for some care for children as well, whether it be on site or somewhere else where we can drop them in for an hour, have an audition, and then come home.
I think that really would help, that if they say, look, we're holding auditions today, but you can bring your kids, there's a creche next door. Bag's not running it.
Don't have all the answers.
Yeah, don't have all the answers, but no, you're right.
Just sitting here and listening to everybody's stories and everybody's experiences, it's made me really excited just to get back out there, and also to be able to pass some of this on to people younger than me. I'm really excited just to be able to continue being part of this woman community.
Wonderful to hear and have very similar feelings to you all, and think actually women sticking together and collaborating together and supporting each other is the best thing that we can do for our future.
Everyone is on a similar journey and struggles with a lot of the same things and has the same questions, so I feel really reassured and excited and inspired. I'm just happy that I've got to meet you guys and hang out with you.
It's lovely to be around, 4 women that are at the top of their game, and in an elite gang, which we always want and support other people coming into our little gang. Our industry is magic, isn't it? Because it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what sexuality you are, what status, finance, nothing. We share this bond and this magic, and only we understand it, and that's why I think we so appreciate each other, because we know what we've gone through, or we're about to, or whatever. It never changes. You just get equipped to deal with it better. That's all. And it's just wonderful to be in a room with icons.
Icons. I love that. Well, I'll say the biggest thing I'll be taking away today is new friendships, feeling welcome in a community which I love and adore, and being accepted by women. And again, this happens. This is what women do. We embrace each other, we support each other, and this is just another example of awesome women who are talented and kick-ass being together for a wonderful afternoon and sharing their wisdom.